Measuring angles. Recall. The definition of an angle, classification of angles. Let's remember together the definition of an angle. It is the space between two intersecting half lines, AX and AY. They intersect at A. This A is called the vertex of the angle. AX and AY are called the sides. They are half lines. We use brackets and parentheses, closed at A, open at X and Y. And if they ask us to write the name of this angle, we say XAY or YAX. We put the hat above the name. It's enough to give one of these names. The measure of particular angles. The zero angle. A zero angle measures exactly 0 degrees. Right angle. Two perpendicular lines form a right angle. The measure of this right angle is 90 degrees. Acute angle. An angle is called acute if the measure is between 0 degree and 90 degree. It is more than the zero angle and less than the right angle. Obtuse angle. This is an obtuse angle. The measure is between 90 degree and 180 degree, more than the right angle and less than the straight angle. The straight angle has a measure of 180 degree, and ABC are collinear points, or they belong to the same line. How can we measure angles? So we measure angles using a device called the protractor, a 180 degree protractor. So the unit of measurement is the degree, the small bubble. If you look closely, you can notice that there are two sets of measurements on this protractor. We have the outside scale, measures from 0 degree to 180 degree going in a clockwise direction, like the hands of a clock. And we have another set of measurements, the inside or inner scale, also from 0 to 180, but going in an anti-clockwise direction, in the opposite direction. This point here, the intersection point of all the lines, is called the center of the protractor. So the center of the protractor is the intersection point of all the lines, and including the line of the zeros here. This one is the line of the zeros, and the line of the 90 degree line of the right angle. They are special lines. You start from this line, and the right angle stops at 90 degree on this blue line over here. So how do we measure angles? Let's start. Suppose we have this angle. We start by putting the center of the protractor exactly on the vertex. We line one of the zeros on one of the sides. I chose this zero to the right, for example. And see where the other side hits the protractor. I chose this 0. It means that we are working on the inner scale of the protractor. You can count 1 by 1 or 10 by 10 and stop where the other side hits the protractor. Here it is at 90 degree. So we write XAY equal 90 degree. Now if you have the straight angle, we know the measure is 180 degree, but let us check with the protractor. We start by putting the center of the protractor on the vertex O. We can count from the 0 to the right or to the left. It's the same, so we can work on the inner scale or the outside scale. It's the same. We will count and reach 180 degree at the end. Now suppose we have this acute angle SOT. It is acute between 0 and 90 degree, but to know the exact measure, we should use a protractor. We start by putting the center of the protractor on the vertex of the angle here. We line one side of the angle on one of the zeros. I chose to line OS on this 0 here to the right. So we will be working on the inner scale, the inside scale. We will see where the other side hits the protractor. It's better to count, so I will count 0, 10, 20, 30. Now between 30 and 40, we have these small lines over here. We count one by one. It means 30, 31, 32. We stop at 32. So I will show you where. Exactly 32 degree. SOT equal 32 degree. Now it is reasonable because it's an acute angle and the measure is between 0 and 90 degree. Suppose you made a mistake and you found 150 and you said 152 degree. Would this be reasonable? No, not at all, because the angle is acute, not obtuse. Let's move to another example now. If we have an obtuse angle, we know the measure is between 90 and 180 degree, more than the right angle. But to know the exact measure, we should use a protractor. We start by putting the center of the protractor on the vertex O and start from one of the zeros. I decided to start from the right, the 0 at the right, so I worked on the inner scale, inside scale. We count 10 by 10. When we reach 90, we make sure that the numbers are increasing. So we don't go to 80, we go to 100. Be careful. So 90, 100, 110, 120. Is it 130 yet? No, it is between 120 and 130, so you go up and you count the small lines on the top of the protractor. 120, 121, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. So it is 126 degree. Is the answer reasonable? Yes, it is, because the angle is obtuse, means that the measure should be more than 90 degree, and we have 126 degree. If you get by mistake 66 degree, the answer is wrong, because it is an obtuse angle, not an acute angle. Again, with this obtuse angle, I will show you that you can put the protractor in another way. You can put the center again on the vertex, but decide to line the other 0 on the other side. If you put this 0 here on OT, you will count and you will follow the other path, the outside scale, not the inside scale, and you will count and find 126 again. Same answer. Let's repeat. So to measure angles, first we extend the sides if needed. If they are short, we extend them. Then we put the center of the protractor on the vertex of the angle. Second step, we place one of the zeros on one side of the angles, one of the sides. We start counting and we read the measure where the other side hits the protractor. This is where we stop and we write the measure. And we're done. Thank you so much.